Okay, in this video, I will go through introduction to variance and standard deviation. Before we start section 2.4 of chapter 2 FS1, it is essential to know how to calculate variance and standard deviation. Here, I have written the formula for variance. Variance is equal to sum of x minus x bar to the power of 2, or another formula which is equivalent to this one is sum of x squared over n minus sum of x over n all squared. Okay, so if we want to work out a standard deviation, which we represent with sigma. However, we represent variance with sigma squared, lowercase sigma, which is a Greek letter. So standard deviation is sigma, so variance is sigma squared. Therefore, a standard deviation is equal to square root of the variance. So therefore, to find standard deviation, all we need to do, just work out the variance and square root that. Okay, so in chapter 1 of FS1, we learned how to work out a standard deviation for a given function. But in this chapter, in this section, we're gonna to learn working out a standard deviation from given data. Okay, so here is an example. Let's go through this example first. Okay, so it says that the marks gained in a test by 7 randomly selected students are 3, 4, 6, 2, 8, 8, 5. Find the variance and the standard deviation. Okay, so to find the variance and the standard deviation, we're going to use this formula. So this is the example 7 from the applied one, okay, for A level. It is not from further maths, but since it is a prior knowledge for chapter 2 of FS1, that is why I go through this first before starting section 2.4. Okay, so the given data are 3, 4, 6, 2, 8, 8, and 5. Okay, so 8, 8, and 5. If we want to use the first formula, so sigma squared is equal to sum of x minus x bar all over n. Obviously, we've got a square here. So what we mean by sum of x plus x bar? X bar is, I write it here, x bar is the mean of data. Mean for the data. Okay, so let's work out x bar first. X bar is equal to 3 add 4 add 6 add 2 add 8 add another 8 add 5 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, which is equal to 36 over 7. Okay, which we can use a calculator to get the exact value for that. 36 over 7 or 36 divided by 7, which is 5.14 and so on. 5.1428 and it continues. However, I'm going to use the exact value here, the fraction. Okay, so this one would be equal to 3 minus 36 over 7 squared plus 4 minus 36 over 7 squared plus 6 minus 36 over 7 squared. So we continue adding this up to 5 minus 36 over 7 all squared divided by number of data, which in this case is equal to 7. Okay, so if we do that, we should get 4.69 for the variance. Okay, so the standard deviation would be the square root of this. Standard deviation, therefore, sigma would be equal to square root of 4.69, which is 2.17. Okay, so here we use the first formula. Let's use the second formula. We must get exactly the same thing. Okay, so I write down using the first formula. Okay, the second formula, variance is equal to sum of the x squared over n minus sum of x over n all squared. So I need sum of x first and sum of x squared, and then put the values here and find the variance. So sum of x means, so these are the x values, which means 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 2 plus 8 plus 8 plus 5. Okay, which is, we already worked it out, which is 36. So therefore, it becomes 36 over n. N is 7 minus. I need this value over 7 again. I will square this. So let's work out the sum of x squared. Sum of x squared means we square every single value and then add them up. 3 squared, add 4 squared, add 6 squared, add 2 squared, add 8 squared, add another 8 squared, add 5 squared, which sums up to 218. Okay, so using your calculator, 36 over 7 minus 218 over 7 squared, which should be 4.69, and therefore sigma or standard deviation is square root of 4.69, which is equal to 2.17. Most of the time I use the second formula, especially in most of the questions. They don't give the data as it's been given in this question, but instead they give you sum of x and sum of x squared, these values. So all you need is just substitute the values into the formula and work out the variance and standard deviation. Okay, so I give you a question here. I'm not going to work out this one. Okay, so you can probably do this one as a practice questions. So the solutions are already here as well. Probably you can stop the video, copy down the question, do it and check with the solutions here. Okay, so end of the lesson here, and in next video we will go through the variance and the standard deviation of the Poisson distribution.